the Kershw Tremor with the speed safe assisted opening. This is one of the knives that have been really popular in the knife community lately since it came out. Man, I want to say somewhere around a year ago. I'm not sure exactly when, but I believe that is the rough timeline of when it came out. A lot of people, when they first got it, were just really impressed with it. The build quality, the size, the ergonomics with the pistol grip, and the steel choice. I believe this is an 8CR13 MOV, Chinese AUS 8 basically. It is a stone-washed finish, which a lot of people really like. This is my first stonewash finish on a knife. It's also my first Kershaw, and I've been really impressed. It has a G10, has G10 scales, decent traction, and it feels like even if it gets wet, it would still feel pretty good in your hand. There is no jimping in the back. There's just a little bit of jimping here on the liner lock. The liner lock is the engagement is okay. Doesn't have the best engagement, but it's going to wear in over time, and it's going to engage much deeper than that. Even though the engagement, I would say it's probably about 30%, but it still locks it in really well. The speed safe assisted opening mechanism, it's pretty neat. When it closes, there's a certain level of resistance, so it won't just pop out by itself. You have to basically use this flipper feature to get this out far enough to a certain point for the assisted opening to kind of kick in, and it'll open it up the rest of the way. That makes this a really fast opening knife, and you don't really have to flick your wrist to open it if you didn't want to. It just a simple press with your index finger, that's going to open that blade up. Now if you opened it slowly, I can show you what happens. If you just press it down slowly, it won't open all the way. If you get it to a certain point, it'll open to this halfway spot. There are no thumb studs, so you can have to open it that way. So to make sure that it opens with the flipper, just give it a nice firm press. There you have it. I want to compare this knife to one of my other knives in the inventory, which is similar in a lot of ways. This is my CRKT Hammond Cruiser. I think these two knives are very comparable in that it's about the same price range, about $30 to $40, depending on where you buy yours. It is about the same size dimensionally, the CRKT being a little bit thicker because of the scales. And as far as weight goes, I'll give you some idea about what the Kershw Tremor weighs. In ounces, this weighs in at 5 7/8 ounces, almost 6 ounces. CRKT Hammond Cruiser, 6 1/8, so it's not much heavier, 1/4 of an ounce heavier. It is, let's see, 5 1/4 inches long in the closed position. In the open position, it is 9 inches. CRKT, virtually identical. The cutting edge on the Kershaw is about 3 3/4 from the tip to the end of the cutting edge. For the CRKT, again, almost identical. Blade shape is a little bit different. The Kershaw's got a little bit more of a belly, and it's a It's a taller blade. It's not thicker necessarily, but it is thicker that way. The CRKT does not have any assisted opening, however, it is also a flipper design. Does not assist, so you got to flick your wrist a bit. However, the CRKT does have thumb studs, so if you get it open partially, you can open it the rest of the way with your thumb. I think the clip on the Kershw Tremor is really good. However, it is only for right hand carry. You can switch it from tip up or tip down, but there are no holes in the other side. I don't know if they make a left-handed version of this. If somebody knows, go ahead and leave a comment and let me know. The CRKT Hammond Cruiser, on the other hand, has all four positions drilled for the clip placement, and it does come with two clips, because these clips on the Hammond Cruiser is different if you flip it to the other side. It came razor sharp from the factory. Really nice even grind all the way through. Not a mirror polish, but for the price, about 30 bucks, it really is good. The centering is not great. In fact, with this knife, typically with liner lock knives, what you'll find is that the knife in the close position will get pushed towards the opposite side of the liner, just because the liner is pushing on the blade itself. So this one is doing exactly that. In fact, it almost looks like this side of the blade is touching the liner, but I don't see any noticeable marring on the stonewash surface, so that's probably okay. So overall, I think for the price, this is a really good knife. It's a little bit big for everyday carry, but on the other hand, some people like to carry bigger knives, like myself. If you're going to carry something like a Cold Steel Voyager or a Raja 2, carrying the Kershw Tremor shouldn't be a big deal at all. In fact, it may feel small to you. But for somebody who's used to carrying maybe something like a CRKT Pikes Peak, there's a size difference comparison for you. It's much bigger. This being what most people consider a EDC knife. This is more of a tactical blade. But for those of you that like big knives, this might be just the right ticket. And there you go. That's my brief overview of the Kershw Tremor. I have not carried this extensively, just a couple of days. Not used it for much. So if I find out anything more about this, I'll let you guys know, or just search for other videos on YouTube. There's a ton of other videos on this knife, and I'm happy that I got one because it's money well spent at about 30 bucks. If you can find it for that price, go grab one yourself. Thanks for watching.